Okay, today we're going to go through the procedure in regards to changing concaves, pulling sieves, and switching to another crop. The first thing we have to do to take any concaves out of the rear of the combine is first look at the clearance of the concaves existingly. So what we'll do is we'll actually select here with the round knob, we'll highlight the concave clearance. We'll enter that. It brings up the clearance setting that it's physically at. So what we'll want to do is we want to change that setting. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the clutch on, move our engine speed to medium, it starts the rotation of the rotors. At this time we can adjust the opening here on this column. We can just click, and as we move up the dial, we're going to go to 1.3. 1.3 is going to open the concave to the full opening. We're going to hit enter. 1.3. Enter. Now the concave is going to adjust. So now the concave is fully open to where we can pull the concaves out of the rear of the combine. We can shut the clutch off. It'll stay at that position, and we'll remove the concaves. So we first looked in the combine and walked through the procedure of opening the concaves to 1.3, which is full max. Now what we're going to do is open this right side or left side guard. We're going to pull the pin, slide the straw chopper back to the rear, and lock it in place. Then what we're going to do is we can see in the back now, you can see the actual deflector, the locking pin, and then the locking toggle clamp, and then also the concaves. So our next step is to pull the deflector apart. So we're going to loosen the toggle clamp at the very top, loosen that up. And we'll go ahead and grab the deflector from the rear, and it will slide. Should be a toggle on both sides. And we'll slide that out. Okay. If you want to lay that right here, we'll look at it. So as you can see, the deflector has rails on it on both sides, and that basically runs on the rail on both sides in the chamber itself. The deflector also holds the concaves in place. So if there's something caught or in between the concaves when you actually pull them out, the deflector won't latch properly and flush on the back of the concave plate. Now, as Paul can show us here, each one of the concaves have a number on them, and they're laser cut. And that is the distance between the round bars. And so the distance between the round bars is going to be 1/2 inch on this one. We make a blank. We make a 5/16, 3/8, 1/2 inch, and 5/8. And so each one of these 5 concaves in here is removable. And if you want to slide that a little bit, Paul, you just slide it part way out. So you can see where it's sitting on the rail. You can see the concave itself. And it's got a rail on the right and a rail on the left, so it's still hanging on the left side. You can see there's stamps on both the bottom, 3 stamps on each one of the concaves themselves. They are steel concave. The concaves weigh about 30 to 35 pounds each. And what we're doing is we're going to select different configurations for different crops. And so this particular combine is set up for soybeans and corn, and so it's set up right now with an adjustable sieve for corn and the proper concaves for corn. So if we switch it to soybeans, we're going to put different concaves in the top, and then we're going to remove the sieve. So let's go ahead and remove the sieve and lay it on the ground there, Paul. The concave. It'll slide clear out. Here you can see the concave itself. You can see the round bar. You can see the size, and you can also see the actual notches where they actually hooks. into the rails.
There's a handle we have here if you need to utilize it to pull the front ones out.
So now we'll go ahead and pull the sieve. And so the sieve assembly, as you can see here, is both a tail rake, consists of a tail rake, which is a separate piece. And then you've got a sieve assembly, and it has 2 screws or 2 quick latches, and then it also has a quick center disconnect. And then the sieve itself, so you can see the disconnect. This also is an adjustable sieve. It's our plastic adjustable sieve. And this also has a screw control in the center that actually adjusts and allows you to open the fingers as far as clearance goes. So we're going to go ahead and remove the tail rake, and it has a 1/4 turn latch on each side. You can use a straight blade screwdriver, standard blade screwdriver. Just do a 1/4 turn, and there's our tail rake. So we have different selections of tail rakes too, depending on the crops that you're using. Now we've got aluminum sieve here. It has 2 quick release tabs that come out, and in the locking position they're on the outside, about a 2-inch gap. In the open position or release position, they're in the locking mode. There you go. That's good. So as you can see, the aluminum rail, the adjustable sieve itself, we can pull this sieve completely out. It sits in the shaker pan itself, and then below that is the internal conveyor belt. So we'll go ahead and put it back together. So if we had a different crop, we'll slide the sieve in, lock it in place. Say we have a fixed hole that we're going to put in. We'll make sure the sieve is locked into place. There you go. And then we'll put our tail rake back on. Take your 1/4 turn latches, lock them in place. We're going to put the concave on the rail. We'll get one started. Once you get both rails, you can see the guide here. And the upper guide here. So now you can see they're notched in, they're flush, and you've got your upper rail started there. So when you're starting these, we're basically starting the first ear, sliding on like you did, and then basically you've got about a half distance here to start your second rail. So you can get the first one, pull it up, then start it through. So then we've got these. We want to make sure these are tight on the back side, so you can pull it out, just they're solid. Then our latches are going to go up for our deflector, and then if you hand me the deflector, we'll put it on. So the deflector has the same notches. We'll start the deflector here. Slide the deflector on, and you'll see it's flush right here. So we want to make sure we have no gap here. This is all flush and tight. We'll lock our toggle clamps down, and then we're done. So the next thing, if we are using the straw puller, if we're using the straw chopper, then we'll go ahead and pull the straw chopper forward. And it's locked in place with this pin. So once we have this locked in place, our sensor knows that it's there. We can position our deflector, and we can set our knife dimension. And that's all it takes.